right, we're going to go ahead and do 6.3.3 nonlinear models. I'm going from the 6.3.2 checkup problems. I'm going to do 2 questions just to show how we get these regression lines if we don't have a graphing calculator. If you do have a graphing calculator, there are instructions within the study of how to go through the list and go through the finding the equations, etc. So this is question 7. So I'm going to go down to question 7 first. This is the quadratic regression line. So I have the data that they gave us. So here's the data, the years and the profit. And then what I'm going to do, similar to what I did last section with the linear models, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert. I'm going to insert a chart. I go to chart type. I'm going to switch to a scatter plot. I then need to change my data range. I'm going to select my X values first, add another range, and select my Y values. I made a mistake up here, change that to 7. And then I'm going to have my trend data. I'm going to go over here to customize, series, scroll down, and then I want to click trend line. Now, this is a linear, it defaults to linear, and obviously that is not what we have here. So we were told this is a quadratic regression. If we go down to type over here, we change the type. We have a couple different options. Quadratic is polynomial. So we'll click the polynomial and it matches there. So quadratic is polynomial. They just worded different in Google Sheets. Then we're going to scroll down to label, and we want to use equation, and we want to show the R squared. So the R squared, if they ask for it, is there, but here is your equation. So this is, they want the quadratic regression equation for this data, and that is this. So the way that we would write it is it would be y equals, we're going to go negative 2.04x squared plus 13.7x minus 3. That's what our regression equation would be, and it's that simple. We get our chart, we change it to a scatter plot, we make sure we have the correct data selected, we change my series, go to series, right? We go ahead and get our trend line, we make sure we choose the polynomial type for this data. Then we want to use the equation, we want to show the R squared, and it tells you what you need to know. So that's all you got to do for question 7. And then obviously the rest of the questions are plugging in information for X and kind of plugging and chugging. And we can go over that later if necessary. Now, question 3. This is exponential regression, and for some reason Google Sheets just doesn't do it right. They use a different equation than what we expect. We know that our exponential equations are in the form of so it's a times b to the x. That's what the form that we expect is. And so this is what we're looking for. So how we're going to do this one is I'm going to choose a random empty cell. I'm going to click an equal sign. I'm going to type in log est, logest, and then I'm going to go parentheses. And if this doesn't show up, I'll minimize this. Or if I exit this out, so maybe you don't have it, click this question mark, and all of this stuff happens. So this kind of gives you reminders, but what we want, so we want all the y value first. So I'm going to click and hold and select all my y value, comma, select all my x values, comma, and then you need to type true, comma, false, close parentheses. So the last one is a comma, true, comma, false, close your parentheses. So this is what we want to type in right here. I click enter, and what happens is you get your b value first and you get your a value second every time. So our equation for this exponential data is going to be 47.27 times 2.02 to the x power. So this would be our equation. So it's it gives us the information backwards, which is fine. B comes first, A comes second, but you should know what the equation is, and then now we know in the order in which they give us the data. So B comes first, A comes second, and then we can just plug it in. That's how we get our equations without a graphing calculator.